full of health and medicine. This is The Health Show.
Escaping from the bonds of cerebral palsy.
My muscles do not flex like normal people's muscles do. They stay tight, knotty.
George Strait with a special report. Preventing the complications of diabetes.
I need a double transplant because I know my kidneys are gone.
Yeah.
What's ahead for insulin-dependent diabetics? And a close-up of the bug that's invaded the East.
From ABC News, here's Kathleen Sullivan.
Cerebral palsy is the most common birth defect in this country. About 500,000 Americans manifest one or more of its symptoms. George Strait now joins us with what is really a very special report.
Kathleen, it's a report about a very special young man. His name is Richard Cypert, and today we begin a 9-month journey with him. Cypert is about to undergo a radical kind of surgery to alleviate the major complication of cerebral palsy, spasticity, the involuntary contraction of muscles. You know how many cerebral palsy patients walk on their toes? Well, that's because of spasticity. When you bend your arm, for example, your bicep muscle contracts and your tricep muscle relaxes. Well, if you're spastic, the tricep muscle also contracts, so the arm is rigid, movement difficult. In cerebral palsy, the spasticity is caused by confused signals from the brain. Well, on Tuesday, Richard Cypert will undergo surgery to clear up those signals. It's surgery his mother just happened to read about in Reader's Digest. It's a story of surgical inventiveness and the personal courage of a very special Eagle Scout.
I've accepted the way I am. I just don't like to see myself when I'm walking in the mirror. I don't like the way it looks because I think it looks awkward, you know. Mainly what I'm worried about always when I go somewhere is my balance. Because, you know, you can just barely nudge me and I'll be stumbling all over the place. When I was born, lack of oxygen didn't get to my brain, and it damaged part of the motor function in my lower body part. My muscles do not flex like normal people's muscles do. They stay tight, knotty, and I remember my parents teaching me how to walk, and I can remember myself walking on my tippy toes and my dad saying, no, 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 walk on your heels, walk on your heels.
We had decided that probably there would never be anything that would help him like this is going to. And it was such a well, I hadn't cried in years until I read that Reader's Digest article. And I didn't even tell Richard about it for some time because I didn't want to get his hopes up.
Afterwards, yeah, then you'll probably do it. And then, they say I'll be walking out of the hospital, yeah, just like any, you know, normal person. And then I'll go in for therapy.
My biggest fear is people that will say it's a cure-all and that the operation will be abused. It's not an easy operation on anybody's part, especially the patient. But Richard, as you know, is quite a person. He will essentially have to learn how to walk all over again. He'll need a lot of physical therapy for the next 6 months.
They told me I'll be able to put my heels on the ground just like anyone else. I'll have better control over my legs. No spasticity, better balance. That's everything I want. I told them, hey, I want this done more than anything I've ever wanted done in my life. Scared? Not really scared. I'm ready for it to be done so I can see the after effects. I'm just ready to get it over with.
Kathleen, this operation is very controversial because it's not a cure, it's still experimental.
When you introduced this piece, you said a 9-month journey. Are we going to be following Richard?
We'll see Richard for about 9 months because it'll take that long to see whether or not this operation really works for him. And the nice thing is that Richard, his parents, and his doctors are allowing us to do this, so we'll be able to see him a couple of times.
Over the next 9 months. Thank you very much, George. And for more information, write the United Cerebral Palsy Association, 66 East 34th Street, New York, New York, 116.